Okay, hello, good evening. My name is Irda, and thank you for joining me for this interview. And I'm excited to learn more about experiences and insights from you as an interpreter. So, to start, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Nabila. My name is Muhammad Akbar Zami. You can call me Akbar. I am an undergraduate student from English Language Education Department in University of Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, and I have been interpreting for uh, some jobs, for some things, maybe probably like in the last year or two.
Could you tell me a bit about your background and how you became an interpreter?
First of all, I'm just like you. I am also a student from English Language Education Department. I get to learn what is interpreting and things like that. And I've grown more curious in the last year or two, and then I've been searching for like some opportunity to be an interpreter, and got some experience in that, interpreting stuff. And then yeah, I think that's my background. Why I like being an interpreter.
Is there any languages that you use as interpreting?
As of now, it's just English as the main language, and then usually the Indonesian language is the target language, or maybe the other way around.
What languages do you feel most comfortable in interpreting? Is it from English to Indonesia or other way around?
It's from English to Indonesia because maybe I think people always always thought that Indonesia to English is probably I think it's easier for Indonesian to to understand, to maybe like if they want to be an interpreter or maybe a translator, it's pretty easy to Indonesian to in English because uh well our language is Indonesia. So but for me personally, I love using English as the main language because uh since that it's not my first language, so when I do the interpreting stuff, I also learn at the same time about maybe like cultural things about English or about Americans.
Are you planning to add more language as a interpreter?
Yeah, I think so. French, and then maybe I love to learn Spain, but I have not yet.
So you're planning to add French as your language to interpreting?
Yes, I hope
Okay.
so.
I was curious that how long have you been in this
I
profession?
think maybe the last 2 years.
Oh, that's a long time. So could you share one of your most maybe memorable interpreting experiences?
This is one of the hardest thing about interpreter. Maybe some people kind of getting mixed about interpreting and translating, but yeah, they're just basically the same thing. But interpreting, it's you're translating what the speaker is talking, like at that time, at the moment. So uh some of the times I always getting caught up when I talk about things that are not my expertise. So maybe like last month I got some interpreting or translating job from my cousin, which is she worked at the like I don't know, she sells Indonesia we call it technique stuff, techniques things,
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, and then I want to say that's my mistake because I did not learn what I need to what I need to know about things like that. And then when I
Yeah.
get the job, I need to translate. I need to interpret what the speaker is talking about. But some of the things that they said, I don't really know what that means. So I just sometimes I don't want to say that I made up some words, but I think that's the closest meaning of what they refers to. So I just said them. So yeah, I think that's one of the memorable for me because some of the time I caught up between the meaning of things and like that. So yeah,
The struggle was real.
yeah, struggle is real.
Okay, so from the experience, could you tell me what is one essential do and do not do that you always keep in mind during interpreting?
First thing first, you need to research your things. Like if you want to be an interpreter, and then if you want to be an interpreter, like you could say some UN meeting, and they talking about economic stuff in the world, or maybe social thing in the world. You need to do your research first. That's the problem. That's the main thing I think for being to be an interpreter because like what I said earlier. Uh, some of the times I didn't research and it messed up my job. So yeah, the first thing first is do your research, and the second one is always when you have a free time, when you don't have a job or work, a thing to do, you always need to just search up some stuff. If you use English as your main language to be an interpreter, you need to like you need to learn their culture. You need to learn how are they do stuff, how are they did some specific stuff, uh especially some of the things like maybe like socially, economically, and then education, I think, probably. So yeah, you need to do your research, and then you need to do your research on and off your job. So I think that's the main thing to do. The don't part, I think, maybe because interpreter is not really like an translator, so you don't need to like made up words. You always have to interpret what are the speakers. You need to understand what is the point, what is the main thing, what is the things they are talking about. But some of the interpreters that I knew, they don't really interpret what are the things the speaker said 100%. So it may be like getting caught up between, I don't know, like maybe they forgot some words, they forgot some points. So yeah, I think that's one of the main to do not things if you want to be an interpreter is do not made up some words, do not be a person who easy to forget. One of the main things to do is also uh, detail. You need to be a detailed person because you need to do like uh you need to hear what are the speakers say, like words from words, because if you don't know the things, you can search up some words that are very relatable of that word. So yeah, you need to be detailed. And maybe the do not is do not be a not detailed person, I think.
From the experience that you have shared before, you have faced some situation that you don't know what to say when you interpret some words because you didn't research that field before. So my question is, how do you handle that situation when you don't know a term or phrases like at that moment? What do you do?
When I have that some difficulties, and then the first thing to do is I need to get understand what are the speakers trying to say. So that's the point. And then the number two, if I don't get what he said, or maybe I don't get, most of the time is I get what he said, but I don't really know the words that they use. So I just, we need to be creative also. If you want to be interpreter, we need to be creative because we need to, again, like I said, we need to search up maybe like uh, a more related words that maybe we can use to interpret those words that we did not know. So yeah, I think the first step is to be detailed, and then to learn what are the speakers talking about, and then the third one is probably just, you need to be you need to have a lot of vocabularies, so you have some backups if you don't know, you did not know about what are the speakers about talking about. So yeah.
All right, I get it. Do you have any advices for someone who just start in interpreting career?
First thing first, to be an interpreter, I think, is you need to do your research. It's not always have to be about maybe something serious like the economic state of the world or maybe social state of the world. You just need, me personally, first time I started as an interpreter, I just started, learning about the other country culture, maybe like the American culture or maybe the English culture, in hoping that I would know, maybe like if someday I have an opportunity to be an interpreter for some people, maybe some from UK or maybe from the US. So yeah, maybe just, start from things, simple things, and then you can move it up a bit until maybe you can learn some things that may be more serious, like, again, like maybe like the economic state of the world, maybe social state of the world, or things like that.
All right, thank you for that. And my last question is, how do you keep updated or improve your skills as an interpreter?
The easiest answer is maybe social media. I will scroll through my social media, maybe like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, just to know what are what is going on today in this world. So when I have an opportunity to be interpreter, maybe like I said, like last month, I get a interpreter job to, help my cousin office, and then do things like that. I know what I'm going to talk about. I know what are the speakers are going to talk about. And then in our university, there's a lot of students, international students, right? So you can just say hi to them, and then you introduce yourself first, of course, and then get to know each other, and then just ask them about anything. You can use the information and then gain more knowledge about what are the cultures and things like that.
The last question is an end for our today agenda. And thank you so much for sharing your experiences and insights. It's been really helpful to learn more about the interpreting field and hearing your advice. And I appreciate your time and I wish you continuous success in your career. Thank you so much, Mr. Akbar.
Thank you.